Good morning, everyone, and Christos Anesti. As Father Paul mentioned, I am called up today to speak about stewardship. Now, if you're already thinking, oh, here comes the facts and figures, take a deep breath, don't worry, I'm not here to talk in percentages, but rather I'm here to discuss my view of stewardship. And in my upbringing, when I heard anything regarding stewardship, my mind would automatically say, oh, this doesn't apply to me yet. I'll listen when I have a career, a husband, or a family. But I would rather like to tell my younger self, no, you already are a steward of the church. Because being a steward is not only about the dollars and cents that add up at the end of the year, but of other characteristics. So I began to think, well, when do we become stewards? Is it baptism, when we become Orthodox Christians? Or is it maybe even before that, at our 40-day blessing? And I'm not saying that's when we should hand out our stewardship pledge cards. But if we put it in perspective, we have customs ingrained in our faith, even that early on. At our 40-day blessings, young girls are taken to the Panagia, and young boys are taken through to the altar. And growing up as a boy, you can ask yourself these questions. Did you serve in the altar? Did you learn customs and traditions of our faith that to some of us are still a mystery? And if you're a young girl growing up in the church, did you serve as a myrrh-bearing woman? Did you land the highly coveted role of the Virgin Mary in the Nativity play? Did you sing in the choir? And as you attended Sunday school, did you learn about our faith? Did you find ways in which we are different than other denominations? Did you ask questions? These make you a good steward. And speaking of the youth and the Theotokos, I have one fond memory from Vacation Church School growing up. The theme of the retreat was saying yes to God. We were reminded that at only 15 years old, the Theotokos agreed to being the Virgin Mary agreed to being the Theotokos for our God. And that was not much older than some of us who were attending at that time. So how can we be good stewards of the church as the Theotokos showed us, as young as 15? When our God, our church, our priest, our deacon asks of our help, are we as quick to say yes? Without any hesitation, without saying, let me check my calendar, God. I know you made the universe in 7 days, but maybe I'll fit you in 2 weeks. That's not the stewards we should be. If God is inviting us to our home, why can't we even show up on time? But let's give ourselves a little credit. As we progress through our lives after Sunday school, you can ask yourself these questions. Are you able to listen and understand to other perspectives? Are you respectful when discussing faith and politics? That would make you a good steward. Do you do simple things like the sign of the cross before you eat? Do you open the door for a fellow parishioner? At the festival, do you hold in your complaints as Yaya's 3 times your age don't complain of swollen feet or being tired? Do you help a young mother when she is carrying toys, pushing a stroller? Do you help a 2-year-old take the last donut at coffee hour, even though you're drooling for it? These make you a good steward. And if we think beyond that, if we were to ask your friends what they know about the Orthodox Church, could they answer more than, oh, they have a Greek festival? That would make you a good steward. It is our job to be good stewards of our faith. As children, we follow directions, but as adults, we have the opportunity to choose. Have you checked on a neighbor? Have you spoken recently to a friend that is still grieving? What about someone who is a shut-in or someone on death row? Are you modeling being a good steward to those around you? And more importantly, are you being a good steward for yourself? If there are improvements to be made, as we can all make, let us be proud to be Orthodox Christians. And if someone asks you to do something, please don't do it metostagno, as my father tells me, with an iron will, but do things with a gracious heart and be glad to be an Orthodox Christian. Thank you.